everybody. How you doing? Welcome. Turns out, I just saw a notice pop up. Science of Life is doing a live stream at the same time. Have to coordinate better. This is my time slot. I do this every week for 4 years, 5 years. I don't know how long I've done this, but anyway, it's all good. Welcome everybody. Let's get this popped on. Hi! Oh, we turn on the other camera too. Let's get this one on. That's over here. Hello. My voice is still a mess. Welcome. My name is John Limcool. John Skippy Limcool. This is our weekly Plug-in Guru live stream that we do each week to hang out, get an update on what's going on for UNIFY, new patch libraries, talk about things that have been going on, new plugins, all sorts of stuff. I just got back from the NAMM show in Anaheim we got back on last Monday. Tuesday I got sick. It's a long-standing tradition. We call it NAMM Thrax, which is you get home from the NAMM show and whatever bugs you were fighting from all the people you meet at the show overcome you and you get sick. Yes, there's an echo on my voice. Oh, I don't hear an echo. Okay, so hold on a second here. Let's see here if I can find out why there's an echo. I don't hear it, of course. So let's get to loop back and look at our audio configuration. Sorry about that. I haven't done one in a couple weeks, and so of course everything's going to be weird and doing double stuff. So what else is happening besides audio there? That was part of... Okay, I don't know why there's an echo. Let me do this. I'm going to quit the audio and try one more time, so I'll be right back. Don't say... Oh, the Apple mic is on too. Oh. Good point. Okay. We'll get over here. OBS. Mic auxiliary from there. Desktop. There, how's that? I was seeing another sin of signal, and I think I got rid of it. Is that better? Is it just me talking to you guys, not multiples of me talking to you guys? Better. Okay. Okay, good. So there was a volume slider up. I think it's from the mic on the little DJI Osmo. See if I turn this up. Here's your echo. So you got doubles me, right? So that's the echo, and then here's no echo. So now I know. Volume is low. Let's see. I might be able to fix that. So let's go over here. No, the volume is up all the way. Test 1, 2. I can bring up the microphone's volume here. I can bring up the volume here. There you go. So that should be hopefully not distorting. Checking my... How's that? Is that better? Gotta get all this stuff working. So we have a new library coming to UNIFY this coming Thursday, and it's a very cool, unique. It's not one you can like put a specific genre on. It's more on a specific test. Do you hear? Okay, maybe it's I got the wrong microphone. So hold on a second here. So let's turn this up. How's that? Maybe it was okay. I must have had you going through the Osmo microphone. I can't have both. I'll just have one of them. How's that? Is that better? That's the one. Okay. Yeah. It's like, do you hear the finger snaps in the microphone? Okay. So, okay, good. And got audio here too. So, okay. Oh my. I think it's time for a tea break. All right. Welcome again. My name's John Lemcool. This is the Plugin Guru live stream. Let me turn this mic light. And I'm a little out just because I've been at a trade show for a week. Got back, got sick. There's been some fun adventures this week. Let's start. There's so much I want to show you guys and tell you stories about the NAMM show. First off, I want to thank everybody that came to the show, that came up and said hi. It was so cool to meet a whole bunch of you guys in person. It was maybe even cooler that nobody had any problems. You know, when you deal with software, and we've been working on this for 4 years, and in the first year, there were a lot of problems. We had a lot of things not working quite right. As we learned software, and Shane learned what was going on and stuff like that, and we got better. And it was so nice to have everybody coming up and saying how much that they love the software, they use UNIFY, they love the libraries, they want more libraries. It was great. So it was nice to meet so many of you. Thank you. It was great. It was a really, really fun experience. We were at the NAMM show, which is in Anaheim. It's right across the street from Disneyland. They have this thing called the Anaheim Convention Center. And it's this huge multi-building complex that the NAMM show has been going on. I went to my first NAMM show in 1989, to the Winter NAMM show in Los Angeles, in Anaheim. There's a period of time when they were remodeling the convention center that it was held at the Staples Center up in Hollywood, Los Angeles area. But for the most part, it has been in Anaheim at this really big complex. And let's see here. I can show you some pictures along the way. I actually didn't take a picture of the complex. It's really funny. Yeah, so here is the NAMM show behind me. It's this big multi-complex, multi-floor facility. I have some fun video footage that I shot with my Pocket Osmo 3. So we'll start with that. Let's see over here. Is it in this folder? I just have to find the folder where I put it. It's not that folder. It's this folder. Videos. No, is it this folder? Where did I put it? I put the... Oh, wait. Find this stuff here. DJI, here we go. I don't know if this doesn't look right. No, that's not right. I'll find it. Just give me a second. It's worth finding because it's pretty cool. I think I put it here, in here. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so let's see. Well, here, I'll give you some little behind the scenes. This is what it looks like before the NAMM show starts. This is when they haven't even put the carpet down. Booths haven't been set up. Here's the Ilio booth where Vienna Symphony Instruments, Applied Acoustic, Swam, Overloud. We're on the inside of the booth. You'll see here in a second. I think I walk around where you can see where we're set up. And we're setting up right here on the right. There's Mark and everybody. And there's UNIFY. Yay! So then the show opens. Let's see here. I want to do this one first. I think it's this one. So this is a time lapse of me walking into the NAMM show, I believe. No, that's walking through the NAMM show. Here we go. Are you ready? So I'm supposed to play something really crazy with this. Let's see if I can find something fun. Maybe in ReCycle. I'll give you some music to enjoy the experience. So if we go BPM grooves, where did I put them? BPM. This is ReCycle, right? BPM. I have all these splits and stuff, right? Here we go. So let's say Planet Unified, or we'll call up Summer Fun. So, all right, ready for the time lapse? This is really fun. Going into the building. There you go. Anyway, so that's the fast. I think the Apple mic is on. Oh, that was 8 minutes ago. I gotta get these notifications to stop popping up. So I have another video I can show you of a slow motion walk through the show. Make sure you hear this. Yeah. So through this show, the NAMM show is one of the shows that has, it's the National Association of Musical Merchants, which means it has every category in the music industry, from microphones, here you see guitars, keyboards, electronics, drums, saxes, flutes, percussion, everything, all that stuff. And so as you walk through the show, it's really hard to describe, but it's very exciting, a little overwhelming, because you literally are walking through like the drum area where there's just people just playing on drum kits, and it's noisy. I mean, it's really, really noisy. And then you get to the guitars and stuff. So this kind of gives you a little breakdown of stuff that you see in the show. Like here's Peterson strobe tuners. So they have strobe tuners you can buy for the music industry, you know? Over here on the right, we're gonna see the Korg booth. And that's right. There is the Korg 3300, the big polyphonic $13,000 synthesizer that Korg is bringing back. Inside the booth, they also had the Wave State desktop, which has the Plugin Guru samples that they licensed from me, patchwork that I did for the. By the way, I have 2 libraries for Wave State. That if you own a Wave State, they are really nice. They are more straight ahead. And Athena's barking. Very cool. Let me make sure you can see this right. Let me get to this real quick. Yeah, that's all right. I can make it a little bit smaller so that it fits better. Let's see, like this. Oh, Athena. So Korg had a lot of stuff going on. They had a lot of stuff. Korg and one forever. Amen, brother. So let's keep going. People with cameras and microphones and recording media everywhere. It's kind of fun how that's, you know, people are getting their footage for their views and so forth. Here's a VIP lounge for Synchrony. Guitars. You know. Then we walked down. I don't know if I walked down the UNIFY line. Everybody has on badges, as you can see. And when you work the show, you look for the guys with the blue badges. Red badges are exhibitors. So I had on a red exhibitor badge, and you look for the blue badges. Those are the guys that own music stores. Those are the people that the show is actually for. And one of the reasons why the NAMM show has gotten smaller and less important, and why Roland was not there, Spectrasonics hasn't been there for a couple of years. It's not as important because the music industry is definitely kind of, the landscape has changed a lot. There's Guitar Center, there's Sweetwater Sound, there's these big monolithic music stores, and then a lot of the mom and pop stores are gone, or they're on their last legs, or some stores are thriving and doing well. Some stores, there's a modular store up in the Northwest and Seattle area that's got a GoFundMe page so that people can support keeping the store alive, because people aren't coming in and buying gear, so they're trying a GoFundMe page. You can make a YouTube video, or if you're a company, you can hire a couple of people to be really influential in the videos they release that get out the word of something you've made, without having to spend thousands of dollars, come to Los Angeles and set up a booth at this event. So it was a smaller NAMM show than it's been in the past. I think it was about the same size, maybe I don't know if it was bigger or smaller than last year. It seemed to have more people, though. It's finally, because of COVID, it went through a really weird cycle where they have this thing called the 9-month window. So from when COVID happened and closed down and so forth, when they decided to open up the NAMM show to be the next winter NAMM, it was June, 3 years ago. And the following year was the 9-month window would allow it to be April. And so March, April, we had the winter NAMM show. And then finally this year, for the first time since COVID, it's back in its January winter NAMM time slot. And, this is when it's really cold for a lot of the United States. And so it's a great place to come to Los Angeles just to get away from the cold weather. So it was a combination of coming to a trade show, but also, being in a warm place versus being in a, stuff like that. So is anyone going to be in Berlin? So Berlin isn't a NAMM show. Berlin is Super Booth. And yes, I will be there. I read reports that attendance was higher than predicted. Yeah, it was good. Yeah. Let's see, I'm reading comments for a second here. So Wave State plugging relays. Oh, awesome. Thank you guys. Yeah. So let's keep going. There's a little bit more to see. You see Casio in the background. I think we're getting into guitars. So on the left, you'll see guitars. On the right is more keyboard stuff. So this is kind of like the the separating line between a couple of different categories of things. So here's Casio on the right. And I have a number of friends that used to work for Korg that work for Casio. They have some really great pianos, great, all sorts of stuff. You hear organ playing going on. That's because there is a booth right here with this new, is it Viscount, I believe is the company? So this cat here is playing on a Viscount organ. Sounded great. He's got his feet going on the pedals, all that stuff, man. It's great. And as you can see, there's smaller booths too. So here is, I believe this is the Hammond booth. They have some cool new smaller Hammond organs. There's the Mellotron booth. You can buy yourself a Mellotron t-shirt. By the way, right across the way from Mellotron is the UHI booth, where I got to hang out with Urs and with Howard Scar. It's great to see Zebra LITE 3. Very, very cool. Kilohertz was there. Kilohertz even had little kiosks at the entrance walking into the show where you could sit and play their synth, which is pretty cool. So MIDI 2.0, my friend Athen, who was he was one of the people on the team that helped make the M1 and so forth for Korg, went on to work for a number of other companies, including Yamaha for many years, helping develop the Montage and other workstations and so forth. He's the president of MIDI 2.0, and they had performances with Jordan Rudess, and it's really cool. They had it's kind of a snarky puppy kind of concert event where they had like 60 wireless pair of headphones that you could sit down and put on, and you could hear what was happening, but nobody else could hear it. So it was really, really cool. Jordan Rudess played there. They had talks. They had stuff going on all day long. It was really, really cool. Yeah, there's Uhi. There's Urs right there. I don't know where Howard's at. No, I don't see. Oh, Howard's, I think, right. There's Howard. Long hair Howard. Playing with their news. I mean, wait till you. I can't show you. I have it, but wait till when I'm able to show you Zebra LITE 3. You guys are going to watch a little video if you want. That they did some videos showing. It's basically a CAD 3D program now for wavetable waveform design. It's really exciting. It's really cool. And then on the left there's Kurzweil. So I have a number of friends that work for Kurzweil, Chris Matriano and so forth. They were right next door. And here we are. There's Taylor. So I want to thank Taylor. He came. He'd never been to the NAMM show before, and flew him down. We did a rental car. We got an Airbnb to stay at. He came along, was there working the floor while I was out running around, and then I would be working the floor so he could go out and run around and see things. And it was great. We had a really great time. We had really amazing location. I want to thank our distributor Ilio for giving us this is a prestigious spot amongst such great companies. We had the Swam guys behind us, all sorts of I mean, it was great. So that's where we were. So if you came and saw us, the keyboard changed. We actually ended up giving this keyboard to Andy next door because they needed his keyboard went down or something like that. But it was a really, really fun show. It was a really fun event. One thing I do with the NAMM show every year is I love to take portrait pictures of all my friends. Let's see here. I want to get up to the top because I could show. Let's see. Reset this. I need to go back up to the top because this needs to be given a 5. Where are you at? Oh, I took so many pictures. My goodness. So say 5. I think that's it. Oh, I might point this out. Okay, so let's go to the 5 ratings. So one thing that happens every year at the NAMM show is there's a group of guys that we've been competitors and brothers for 30 years, as well as other associates, people that we worked with at the time and so forth. And we call ourselves the old men of MIDI. And it was something that I was invited to join years ago. And so I get to come to this really fun event. It's just a dinner. It's a dinner on usually like a Thursday night. And I got to go and hang out with dear friends of mine that have been, oh my goodness. So there's yours truly. This is CJ Vanston. CJ is a keyboard player that has been on countless hundreds of records. He's part of the Spinal Tap team. There's some really cool stuff happening with, I can't even talk about what I know. Jordan Rudis, my brother from another mother. He worked with me at Korg long time ago, long time ago. In fact, if you want to see something, let's see if I can find this. I started scanning. I have many photos from countless years and stuff ago, right? And I scanned in some photos. Where are they? This is Jordan and me in the 90s when Jordan had hair and he didn't do the little beard. And this is me, skinny little me at like 25 years old. I think we were in Frankfurt or something like that, or Japan. I think we were in Japan getting ready for the Kobe presentations of the Wave Station for the first time. And for, I was showing the S3, which is a drum machine that Korg made at the time. Here's another photo from back then with, let's see, Coster Sr., Tom Coster, so many friends. Here I am up top flying, Jordan down here, part of the team that did all these different shows and stuff like that. It was really fun history. I mean, let's see here. Here's another silly photo of me with that. Because I was called Skippy, I found this hat that said Fido Dido. And for some reason, I thought it was really cool because I wore it everywhere in all these pictures back then. But I was playing a drum cat connected to the S3. And then Jordan Rudis was on one wave station, and on the other side of me was John Bowen on another wave station. And we played as a band at Music Mesa. We did a Kobe show. It was really, really fun. And that's how back in the day at the trade shows, there were live performances. They had a performance room. I got to play drums with my fingers on the keys. I'd made my own drum kit design with Jordan and Jack Hotop and Ben Dowling. We were called the Real-Time Wackadoos. Crazy music. I'll share that music with you one of these times if you want to hear it. It was great, great memories. Anyway, so we did the Old Men of MIDI dinner. And then after the Old Men of MIDI dinner, when I walk around through the show, I have my Sony camera with me, and I love to take pictures of everybody I run into. So I did portrait pictures of everybody. This is Prince's purple custom-made Yamaha piano that he had made for him. The rumor goes that the last person that touched and played the piano was Prince himself. So it has special things. They had it behind purple bars so you couldn't get to it. Dr. Mix was in the house. Other people that are YouTube the three of us actually, we did the Tommen Music Expo for making videos years ago. This is Mr. Hayes, who's keyboard player for many, many years with the new Power Generation. He's such a talented guy. Houston Singletary. Taylor, I took a nice portrait picture of Taylor. That's my assistant, Taylor Harris. For those that don't know who you're talking to, if you send a tech support email, it's Taylor that's helping me out. All these pictures of all these beautiful friends of mine, people that I work with. Here's Howard Scar. I think we did a picture of the two of us together, hanging out at the booth. The man behind all of the UHI synthesizers and the team. He's the dude. And oh my gosh, Dr. Mix, we had other time where we hung out and did more pictures and stuff like that. Great show, fun stuff. All these people. This is Stefano. He's in charge of the Swarm instruments, and he's a sweetheart, great guy. I had a dinner on Sunday night, and my friend Ryland Allison. You'll be hearing some stuff in the future. He's working on a library that will blow you guys away for UNIFY. It's in the works, so it's really exciting. And he had a friend with him. And Taylor, once again, we did another portrait by the Cool Light. This is a cool book. For those of you who want a little recommendation on something to read that is fun, this is a book that just came out that I picked up. It's on Amazon and so forth. It's a Peter Gabriel book with the stories behind the songs. And it goes from the early albums to the newest songs in the just released singles and stuff like that. Yeah, my nickname was given to me by other people at Korg. I did a presentation in New York, less than 4 months after I had joined Korg. They gave me this little thing called the S3, which was using Yamaha sampling technology to play pianos, and it had a card slot. And you could plug in a PCM card slot that had bass, drums, brass, and it was able to play all those sounds simultaneously on different MIDI channels. And then we had this little tiny 3.5-inch sequencer called the SQ1, I think it was called. And I wrote a sequence called Blind Date, and I came to the sales meeting in New York and presented it because it was a presentation of this new product for the Korg people to sell. So I talked about the detail and the spec, played the demo, and I get all up and, I'm all happy and excited, and this is going to be something really cool. And here's the song Blind Date, and I play this really cool. Oh my gosh, that's a really cool song. And afterwards, one of the other product specialists, at the time I was just a product specialist, said, you don't act anything like a John. To me, you act like a Skippy. And so my friend Jeff Gastineau, a fellow product specialist, gave me the nickname Skippy. And Jack Hotop and Ben Dowling and all my other friends were there and heard Skippy and went, oh. And so I was Skippy. And I hated the name. I truly did not like the name at first because if you remember, there was a TV show called Family Ties with Michael J. Fox. And there was a character named Skippy. And Skippy was the fall guy with the round, nerdy glasses that always, the jokes were on him. So I didn't like that. But then in 2000, I released a library called Skippy's Big Bad Beats. And it did really well. And it was used by Lady Gaga and all sorts of other bands that I love and appreciate. And I was like, okay, I'm okay with the name. So now I put it like I'm Skippy. My NAMM tag says I'm Skippy. It makes me, it's easy to remember Skippy if you're in a room with a whole bunch of Johns. I mean, I'm the 5th John in my family. So Skippy makes it, it's just a fun nickname. So John Skippy Limcool. Hands together, head bowed. Thank you. So anyway, this is a really good book. If you want a good book on the stories behind songs and stuff like that, Zimpy, cool. Yes, that was Morris Hayes. Yeah. This is Andre, is it Keith Crouch, who's another great producer behind Brandy's singles and stuff like that. So many great people. It's just really, really, I like this little shot I found for black and white at the show. You have this place you're walking by. People are wearing all sorts of things. There's all sorts of stories going on. It's a happening, type of a thing. So it was a really fun event. We had a great show. People are very positive with UNIFY. It was fun. Yes. Yeah. If you guys don't know of Peter Gabriel, please look him up. He's one of my favorite artists as well. I got to see him live last year. That was really fun. Let's see here. Things really like me. Yeah, so it's a nickname that I got when I worked at Korg for Skippy. And in high school, I was Lemmy because I have this big, long Limcool for a last name. Anyway, so So moving on, let's get to the next couple of things to talk about. We have a library coming in on Thursday. I don't know if he's here. He might be here. Matt, are you here? Is Matthias here? Matthias Sauer is someone who has done 3 libraries for UNIFY. He started with Unichill. Oh gosh, this is like 2 years ago maybe, which is just one of those must-have libraries if you don't own it. It's got so many really cool, lots of BPM stuff, all these BPM pad ideas. All sorts of really cool stuff, cool synths. Basic stuff, right? But these are things that are like so cool to use. There's a lot of grooves. I did some drum programming for this. So if we were to just say, use this and use the load into UNIFY layer, let's load a pad and a keys. Right? So he did Unichill first, then he did Unilo-Fi, which has, again, oh, let's see. Let's go back to normal. So we're just calling them cool things like, oh, these are kicks. Let's go to keys. Right? Just really cool lo-fi things. If you take and you add a nice little lo-fi drum groove to this, and let's say a lo-fi pad. Right? So there's lo-fi drums. I made a lo-fi drum kit that was really cool. There's great basses. Really cool, fun stuff, you know? Just get you started so easily into stuff. Say Blue Cave. And let's say right click on the G8 of the bass and say stop at B, and then click on the C-2 of the pad and then play C next to B. So now you have a split. You know what? I did it wrong though, because I need the bass to stop here. There. So there's a whole lot of fun stuff. He has a new library that we'll be bringing out. And let me see here if I can find the artwork to show you first. We're still finalizing the artwork. It's called where's the, I have all this stuff in my way so I can't see. Here we go. This is Uniflow. It is a very cool library, combination of really cool synthesis pads and so forth, but it's using a bit of ASMR samples plus synthesis. And what ASMR basically means is tingly, cool frequency, more from acoustic, organic sources and so forth. So let me show this to you. At the very top, I've pulled out some different atmospheric sounds to let you hear. Some of the sound sources, if you open up the library, there's a lot in it. All these granular pads, special effects, all these ambient granular loop things that are cool, nature, beaches, water, vocal things. These sounds are used in the library. Right? So you'll hear that in maybe some BPM pad. I can't do it. I wish I had where I could like take, but for example, it has the pad, but it also has this really cool. And because of the way UNIFY works, if you're in a synthesizer and this is 2 oscillators, you could not do this. But because it's UNIFY, and because the 2 oscillators are 2 layers, this layer I could say anything. I could say vital and have that be the pad. Let's go over to the back to the 80s library that Bob Dedis did. Let's say categorize it alphabetically. We could go over here to like some sort of a keypad or a pad. Let's just go for a pad down here. So we say something like Glass Dreams. And now I'm able to put this special effects sound on any layer of any synthesizer plugin, any patch that I want to use to do this. So it's really, really fun that the patches are created in this way. And again, so Matthias's background, he's worked as a sound programmer for a number of companies, including Yamaha. I think he worked on some Korg projects in the past. So he's very, very capable of what he's got experience with programming. He knows how to make the patches that you need. Really, really nice. He also sampled the wave drum, so he's got, let's see if we go to the, these are the kicks, and if you go to the percussion, I believe, let's load this in. So you got some wave drums, and here we can top some of the different patterns. Really cool. And again, you can open up Guru Sampler, tune it up, make the decay shorter, make it more glitchy, all sorts of stuff, you know. Then put other effects on that and off you go. So the library goes all sorts of really cool places. These sequences are 1 notes. Let's see, let's go get Logic back up. So it's all these for those of you guys that love the little song helper starters. Right? There's alien special effects because every library needs some alien special effects. So go some really cool places. As you can see, there's a boatload. This is all BPM. BPM basses, BPM ARPs. Some of the BPM ARPs are very complicated and have grooves and stuff. Really, really fun stuff. So this is... really, really great all the way across. And then below that, you have just usable with cool layers and stuff in them. Grain guitar. Isn't that cool? And again, if I didn't want this jazz guitar, I could hold down Option. This is a shortcut. It's Option Alt. And you click the little dot right here to have that go away. Let's go to the new library, MegaMagic Guitars Volume 4 that I just released. Let's get the dual harp, the two guitarists, and let's right click on the patch and then choose Load into a new UNIFY layer. So I'll keep the pad because the pad's on layer 1. So it's cool. We got a shower, rain shower in the background with the pad, and you can, again, layer anything you want. Right? And what's really fun by doing this, now that this is a UNIFY layer, I can open this up, and I can go to any other library. I could go to, let's say, Magic Motion. And let's get like some sort of a BPM pad. And just by selecting this, it's replacing only the pad in that spot that was the guitar. So everything else keeps playing. And what's fun, even from inside of this UNIFY setup, I could go down here to like ReCycle. Where's ReCycle? ReCycle. Let's say we want to have a drum group of 4 on the floor. Load into a new UNIFY layer. You can load layers of UNIFY into layers of UNIFY. I mean, it just never ceases to amaze me how deep you can take the rabbit hole if you want it. Now, of course, in a case like this, it might be better if you do this. Go over here and say, copy this layer, hold down Option and Alt, and get rid of the layer, and then put the drums up here at the top. Just go to Layer, and it say Paste Layer because the layer's in the buffer, and there it is. Now it's at the top. Now it's a little bit easier to control. It'd be easier to set up macro knobs if you want it to go away and come back. Like if I wanted these drums to be able to go away and then come back, this is what you do. Find a knob that either says no name, like I don't think I need these. If you hold down Option or Alt and you click the little dot, it resets a knob. So I'm gonna reset these guys, and then I'm gonna go over here to linked parameters. I want it to be the full range, so I make sure that this box is selected, and I'm going to go to the drums, just say MIDI enable. And then double click this and say drums on off. So now they're off. And then I automate my DAW, bringing this up. And you see, it doesn't stop until I play new notes. So I can set this back to off. Right? So that's how you set up things for automating whether you have a layer play or not. Assign it to a knob. And now you can automate this knob inside of your DAW to get it to automate, to go away, come back, go away, come back, whenever you want. So you don't actually have to sequence the notes into your sequencer. You just sequence in whether you have this knob here or here. A lot easier, right? All right. So let me look at our chat really quick, see what you guys are talking about. Will this pack work with? So we do kind of limit. We don't really have complete control presets. I haven't. In to be honest with you, UNIFY is kind of a better working version of NKS. Is one way to think of it. I'm not sure of the process to make the NKS presets. We did back in the early days, very early version of UNIFY. I hired someone to make an NKS version of the library, of the factory library, and it's grown ever since. And it took forever. And then we added new patches, and then the patches weren't added to that library, and so forth. It's it's so slow to work with NKS because it has to like reload each time you load a patch and stuff. And UNIFY is so much faster, and it's so much easier to layer everything. And so I've just kind of let NKS be its thing. I really don't want to spend the hundreds of hours it would require for us to make our presets into NKS presets. It's just, I would rather be working on new libraries. I'd be working on all sorts of other things besides that, right? So let's see here. I need to commit my knobs, but I don't really know how to. Okay, so here, let's talk a little bit about the knobs and configure, because someone's talking about you can create in NKS for your keyboard controller. You can create a template, because I recently did that. Let's see if I go complete control. See how I have MIDI CC knobs? There's a CC number attached to these knobs. We don't have CC numbers attached to the other layers of knobs. These CC numbers are retained and stay the same when you're changing patches. And it's designed this way on purpose. So if I go here, even though the assignments for those knobs change, the actual knobs themselves stay at CC55. There's another way to work with this. If you need to do something where it's in an environment, like an NKS environment, if you hit init and you right click to load that patch, right? So let's load this as a UNIFY layer. And then you need to get rid of that top layer now that you've done this. So say delete this layer so it's in UNIFY. Because it's a embedded UNIFY layer, the rule is that you can have separate MIDI CC assignments for everything, and they will change per patch. So if you make your patch in this way, where instead of looking at the patch and using these knobs, which, by the way, if you go over here to the UNIFY on patch load, you can have it so it adds missing macro links. That is the layer, that's the option, so that even if you do it this way, it doesn't get the names, but it does assign the knobs to the same as those inside of this UNIFY layer. At this point, if you go to this and you say, I want this to be CC76, it will now listen to CC76, even though the top layer UNIFY, it's set to CC1. So we do this on purpose so that you can build up macro knobs that are responding to different MIDI CC numbers than the hardwired ones that are at the top level, okay? And if you go over to complete control, what is it doing here? Oh, it's trying to scan. It was running without scanning yesterday. Great. Well, anyway, you can get to the page where you can see your CC assignments for your keyboard controller. Like, I've now set up my knobs of my keyboard controller. If you see, if I use this and go like this and spin this like this. No, I want to go like this and down. So I have these knobs set up, and see how I spin these, how it spins. Oh, I don't need that. Thank you. Didn't even call that up. But as I spin these knobs, if you look on the screen of UNIFY at the same time, you'll see it's moving these knobs. So you can create, let's see, go like that. Put this back like this. And don't look directly at me. Get down here on my hands a little bit better. Sorry for the mess. I'm still post NAMM cleaning stuff up from the show. But does UNIFY auto-map MIDI CCs to a default setting? Yes. Whatever assignment you set these knobs to for the top layer, it is retained and saved. So like if I was to say this is now to be CC 51 and CC 52, right? If I quit UNIFY and come back, it's still CC 51, 52. If I change patches, no matter what patches I change, it's still CC 51, 52, right? You can unassign right here. You can also say MIDI learn and then move a controller on your keyboard and it will listen and respond to connect it. But again, these are saved and retained as long as you're running UNIFY. If you want to get to where you assign different CCs to different assignments, hit init, right-click to load the patch as a new UNIFY layer, and then go to that top layer of the init that's this sine wave synth and say delete that because you don't need that or you'll hear a sine wave. If you open up this UNIFY layer, the rule is that these knobs, they're still assigned to the assignments of the patch, but they're now broken. They're not connected to any MIDI CC number, so you could assign these to any MIDI CC you wanted to, and then save this patch, save it, go over here, give yourself a new library name if you want, save it that way, make a library, save your own patches, put in categories and tags if you want. Oh no, auto-tune slice is missing. I think it got to that message. Hold on a second here. Let's say force quit. And I'm going to force quit complete control and see if I can get it. I did this yesterday, and I think that's how I got it to pop up without. Let's see if it's still going to scan. Yeah, here we go. So from inside of here, after up. Oh, please don't tell me this can take forever. Oh, okay. So once you do this and it recognizes that if you have a Native Instruments keyboard, you can click here and here's where you see each of your knob assignments and you can double click to change the name. And then down here is where you choose what MIDI CC number and what MIDI channel it is sent and what type of a thing it is sent, if it's a program change and so forth. And then you can save it as a template. And the way that that works is once you've got everything set up, if you hit plus, it makes another default template. And then it gives you the template that you have. So you can make your buttons, your pedals, all that stuff. You can change the touch strip to be different color. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff you can do for the colors and all that kind of stuff. So like right now it's blue. Let's make it green. So now my keyboard is lighting up green. All that is possible to work with. And then click this to turn off. But I've just never liked their interfaces so slow. You choose a patch and it takes, something not found or whatever. I mean, it's their ecosystem, their thing to deal with. I'm just worried about UNIFY. So, plus the controller editor. Yes, so you can save templates from there. So, as I showed you, so we get here again. So it pops up the little MIDI keyboard, right? So these are templates over here. Like if I was to change these all around and hit plus, it gives me a chance, live stream temp. And so that can have its own knob assignments. And if I change this to be 11, and if I change the name to also be 11, Then when I go to this one, it's this temp, and when I go to here, it's this temp. And you can choose which template set you're currently working with. So if you're working with some people with some string sample libraries need a certain set for the knobs to work one way. And then when you go to another library, BBC is different than the library from Native Instruments. You can make templates this way so that the knobs, without having to stop and reprogramming every one step by time, which is a pain in the butt, you can make templates. So this is one way to get around the CC assignments that you need to work. And I use that to set up so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have all my first 8 knobs assigned here inside of UNIFY. So that way if I'm playing something and I want to change... I could do it that way, or I could do it this way. Right? So I have the ability to use the knobs of my keyboard instead of me having to like just dance around with my mouse and only change one thing at a time. So you have lots of choices with how to work with keyboard controls and so forth like that. So anyway, this new library will be out on Thursday. It's called Uniflow. I'm still getting used to the name of it. It's got so many fun places to go. You can do this on any controller surface. Yeah. The key is what I'm showing is using the software that comes with whatever keyboard controller you have. You can set up the keyboard controller to work and get more efficient with UNIFY. And I'm just showing the Native Instruments one because I have a Native Instruments keyboard here. As Mark is pointing out, if you have a Novation or another company, everybody has either something that's included when you install it, or if you go to their website, if you say Novation keyboard controller, type in the name of it, right? And then say downloads, you'll go to the company website where you can download something that will help you configure the software up on it stuff. Where can I change the CPU core configuration? We don't really give you access. That's more of a Shane type of a question. We do have, I think that we were getting rid of some of that stuff because Juice is doing better. We were doing some trial and errors at one point where on this page here, there's some options for the cores to be given a priority. With the latest beta, this is a newer beta than you guys currently have. We'll be getting this beta to you in the next couple of weeks, I think, is the plan. But the CPU cores, you don't need to be managing that anymore. Juice has improved how they are doing the cores, and we're using their abilities to work with the cores. So let me show you some other patches. These are really cool basses. Again, I'll do a complete walkthrough when we get to the release date on Thursday. Very, very cool. Plutino. And again, they all work with layers. So if you right click and say add another layer, day 3 with it, there is a way to increase the text size. If you go to settings, GUI, and you can set it to like 175%, and it's much bigger. So you can change the size here. This is for changing the text size, and then you can resize the windows from here to get it to fit into your screen and so forth. If you do this, and if you create something that has an interface size that you like, I believe it's the middle bullet, you can click right here and say save preferred window size, and it will remember everything if you want. Or I'm going to say revert to default window size. Oh, but this doesn't do the zoom. So zoom is right here. I'm going to put it back to 100% for myself so I get more information on the screen. But yeah, you do have, make it bigger. We can do that. Show us more sounds. Okay, sunbathing. Here's Vox Night. Wave Pirates. That's cool. Alter Ego. Here we are in the percussion. Let's get Water on Mars. Again, there's all these BPM sequences, which are one-note affairs. I was curious if I could layer these, like if I layer a couple. Yes, you can layer them. Get a kick, BPM kick, or percussion. Cool. So there's all that kind of stuff. Again, I started to show some of these. These are some of the really cool. We've got that tingly ASMR stuff and synthesis. Nice. Great stuff. And it's fun. The samples themselves, like the rain and so forth, they transpose really well. Down low. Really clean, really nice. And up high, you get the sizzling banking kind of effect. Beautiful. All this like waving. It's kind of like the Magic Motion concept, but to like just natural acoustic sources and so forth. Now we get into some fun stuff. These are special effects patches. Here's Beach. Here's some City. Snow. Actually walking and crunching. Cool. Slightly broken. Underwater strings. And violin meh. And again, since it's a pump house, very easy to take any of these guys, go to the pump house preset, click the graph and go to the presets and find something more interesting. With this. Where's his bass? I'm gonna save this because I'm supposed to make some bonus patches for this. So bonus, save as, and then I'll work on it to refine it. This isn't the final version of it, but we'll have some fun stuff. There's still bonus patches to make. I have time to make some more additional things for the library, but it's at 217 patches, about 350 megabytes in size. Really, really fun. So very excited to be sharing this with you guys next week. Yeah, Z1s. Yeah. The beautiful a few days ago. Sylvian, so when you're installing libraries, you're installing it into UNIFY's database, but you don't have to install it more than once. Because I'm using UNIFY standalone. If I was to call up my DAW and call up UNIFY, it calls up the exact same patch libraries that I have in the standalone. So you can have as many versions of UNIFY plugin wise as you need for different applications that use components or VST or VST3. But there's only one database of samples, so you only install it one time. After you've installed, by the way, you can remove the .guru files and stuff that you've downloaded from the internet because UNIFY unpacks that, does all sorts of unique things to create the library itself and the samples and so forth. So you don't need to keep that for saving hard drive space. I've been to so many different studios and different people's environments where they're working, and they still have all the zip files for every version that they've downloaded, and you can get rid of all of that because UNIFY puts everything into its own format. Just don't delete anything from the UNIFY library itself that says like is it UPS or the stuff in the libraries itself that are the preset files. Don't delete those. But anything that's a zip, when you get to your libraries folders, it should look like this, where you just have the folders of each library. Each one that you open just has a handful of folders for the media, MIDI files, patches, whatever that specific library has. Some libraries have 4 folders. Some libraries only have 3. Some only have 2. If you get to like the unified libraries, this is sometimes media. Sometimes it's just, you know, the patches. So, but anything else that you have in here that you've put in there, you can get rid of because UNIFY is not accessing that. And it's just taking up hard drive space. So to free up hard drive space, that's one way to go. Okay. All right. We are almost done. Any questions else that you guys are asking about? I installed factory patches a couple of weeks. I don't see them in the drop down. Yeah. So there's a couple options. When you click the lightning bolt, we've changed it in the last, I think, 2 versions of UNIFY to where it only looks at the folder you're in when you just click. But if you hold down Option or Alt and you click, this does a thorough, complete database rebuild. And so it will look at all the folders and see all the patches that are there and pop up. That's how new libraries that might be missing will show up. They should show up when we install them. But if they don't, that's the way to do it. Other option is if you go under the settings, there's actually an option right here under patch database that says full rebuild. If you click that, that's the same as doing the option in the lightning bolt, okay? Sharp dress Skippy. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, as far as the UNIFY 2, it's in the works. There's nothing to announce at this point, nothing to show. But we are hoping to release it probably by the first half of the year, I hope. It depends. It's a big project. There's a lot to it. And at the same time, I'm preparing to move, and Shane is also in the process of preparing to move back to Canada from Nova Scotia. So we're just going to live life, make libraries, enjoy things. By the way, this is a new acquisition. I also have, we love Craigslist. I bought this as well for like, these are both TB303 clones because what date is coming up in March? And in the past, usually I just realized this like a couple days before the date. But this time, I'm very happy to say I actually thought about it and came up with something I wanted to try, and it's going to be cool. Very, very cool. So there's all sorts of fun libraries in the works. I wish I could tell you all of them, but I can't. Good to see you, Planet CJ. Yeah, we'll see you. Thanks for joining. It's great to see so many of you guys here. Really great. Really, really great. If you have questions, UNIFY support at pluginguru.com. Taylor is there to help. I'm there to help at times if needed. But we just appreciate all of you guys. It's so fun to have this adventure we're all on. Making sounds, making libraries. There's other libraries in the works. I'm not going to talk too much about Bob. He's got a library we'll be releasing in March as well. That is just equally inspiring and stuff. There's other stuff in the works. Life is good. Life is good. So let's do our shout outs. Yes. Yeah. There's something in the works. There's a library TB3 party in the works, but that's all we can talk about right now. So I will say this. It's doing stuff with TB303 samples you can't do with these guys. So I'm really excited. So it's going to be pretty cool. Great. Northwood, great. Nice to hear from you, man. Yeah. Shout outs. So at the end of a live stream, for those of you that are new to join us, we do shout outs so we can see that we are all in the world and we are all connected. We all love sounds. We all love music. We all get along. I wish the rest of the world could do the same, you know? But look at that. We got Cologne. We got Florida. Hello. Unbarred. I haven't seen your name before. Welcome. Nice to see you, man. Thanks for joining. Bright Band in Cologne, Colorado, Holland. Darren, Darion? Is it Darion? Let's see here. Dayron in Texas. Well, how y'all doing, man? Right on. London, Canada, France. Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining. This has been a great live stream. Been very, very fun. We'll do it again next Saturday. We'll have new stuff to show you. Yeah, let's just seal it right there. A little bit early this week because I go late so many times that if I can actually go on time or a little early for once, what a surprise. But anyway, Uniflow will be out on Thursday. We'll be playing with it next week. There's some plugins that have come out this week that I'll be getting to show you. All sorts of good stuff. So cheers, you guys. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe if you haven't. And thank you again. Oh, good evening, Sylvian. That's really nice. Yes, we just want to make it so you can play with your plugins. Do fun things that you can't do outside of what the plugins can do. That's one place we can go. So right on. Right on, Axel. All right, you guys. We'll see you next week. Have a very creative week, all of you guys, and take care. All right? See ya. Bye.